let's switch over, check out the Twitter, and see if we can get a new champion cinematic. Oh, look at this. Oh, look. Ooh, who's casting? Oh, look at this cutie. Oh, we're casting the top 32. Hey. Okay, facts aside. All right, guys. This is it. New champion reveal today. What do we got? Okay, we got Yuumi. All right.
We're off on a new adventure.
Okay.
I go where you go.
Keyword, attach. So Yuumi, you can play... You play her on any ally. She's like an equip item in Yu-Gi-Oh. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. All right.
I'm Finn.
Still a little loud. All right. Let me get a little quieter.
Check the book. Time to prowl.
Rainbow fish. I'll look at all the other cards afterwards. I don't want to pause it anymore than I have to.
This way.
Oh god, the Yuumi Pantheon deck is real.
Come on, book. Don't worry, I've got your back.
Wait, spell shield or barrier?
Today we say
Playtime. I mean, enough. Swat.
Pantheon?
Zoom.
bleed we must.
Oh god. I will say Pantheon is pretty reliant on Demacia. They're gonna have to print some pretty good Vandal cards for this archetype. Oh Jesus Christ. Papercraft Dragon. 5 mana 2/2. It attaches to something else and grants it. Wait, did that just say grant double attack?
Let's find a new best friend.
Wait a second.
Time to turn the page, book.
I will make the gods remember this day.
The power of friendship.
All right, this is the full page of all the new cards. Unfortunately, there's nowhere for my head to go here, so I'll tell you what. I'm gonna scrunch down real low. I'm gonna scrunch down real low and small here, and we're just gonna hide in this corner. Okay. Oh god. Oh Jesus. All right, guys. Shh. Your Twitch chat is covering up the assistant librarian. Everyone, collectively. Shh. Just don't type for a second so we can read assistant librarian. God damn it, guys. Assistant librarian. 2 mana, 2/2, Fae. Faded. Nexus Strike. Draw a spell that costs 3 or less. What? What? Excuse me? Wait, hold up. 2 mana, 2/2, Faded Fae. Nexus Strike, draw a spell that costs 3 or less. All right, that's ridiculous. Wait a second, that's so good. All right, that's good in basically every way, right? Like even its floor value is good. In a Fae deck, you're auto slamming that. It's got faded, so it's gonna grow. And if it ever slaps the Nexus just once, it's getting insane value. Even if it doesn't hit the Nexus, it's good in faded decks or Fae decks. Let me actually like pull up the attach keyword again one last time. So the attach, you play it on an ally to give it their stats and keywords, and then when the ally leaves play, it gets unattached. Can you unattach it yourself? You can't, right? It's just like, it's only when that ally leaves play you're able to unattach it and reattach it. It's basically just like effectively a grant, right? Recalls? Yeah, you can use something like recalls to unattach it yourself. So basically, we can check out this card, Quick Quill. A 2 mana 1/1 Fae that has quick attack and attach. So basically, you attach it to something It's like a 2 mana buff, right? It's not a spell, so it will resolve at unit speed. You'll play it at slow speed, but it'll resolve instantly. It's basically focus speed and unit speed are almost the same thing, except unit speed takes an action. And you're paying 2 mana to give something +1/+1 quick attack. Oh god. Oh, this is such an interesting concept. It's pretty hard to evaluate. I mean, you're getting faded triggers, which is really, really nice off of that. Something like, for example, the card we just saw, the Nexus Strike Cat. Oh god, they're in a different order in Mobalytics too. All right. This is so awkward. Assistant Librarian, for example, would be really, really good because you could just do that on turn 3, right? Like you play Assisted Librarian on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you can just go ahead and play the quick Quill immediately on top of it on turn 3, and it'll be a 4/4 quick attack with Nexus Strike, so they can't block it and they can't not block it either. That's pretty ridiculous. And they're both Fae, so they both benefit from Fae buffs. Fiora, yeah, Kavir saying Fiora can use quick Quill. If you play Fiora on turn 3 and then you just give her quick Quill on turn 4, she just permanently gets +1/+1 on quick attack. Fiora with quick attack, of course, becomes ridiculous. Now, we haven't seen a Fiora deck able to utilize quick attack before, and that's just because there hasn't been an easy way to give her quick attack. But Bandle Fiora could actually be the future if these attached cards are good enough for it. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Let's go. Mushroom Ring. When I'm summoned to round start, give me power this round equal to the number of other allied Fae in play or attached. Wait, does that mean that... That's so weird. So does it check when it's attached? Does it also just check that while it's attached and update it? Or is that only like... That's a really, really bizarre one. But basically, you're just using this in a full Fae deck. It doesn't have attached itself. Oh, yeah. And I guess there's no way to attach it without that. Right. So, yeah, no. This card basically just exists to give itself extra stats with quick attack. I mean, it'll be good in a Fae deck. You probably wouldn't run it in like a full attached deck. All right, Papercraft Dragon. 5 mana 2/2. This is the one that gives double attack. And double attack as a keyword is... It's really important because double attack is very powerful but very limited. Now, the reason it looks pretty absurd on Pantheon is because Pantheon, of course, has things like, for example, Overwhelm. It has things that, you know, might work well with double attack as well, like, I don't know, Elusive, Lifesteal, Scout. Like, giving Pantheon double attack just sounds hilarious. You'll be able to just win games that you have no business doing. I don't know if this card will be worth it for 5 mana, but a buff that is +2/+2 and double attack is pretty ridiculous. Like, you give it to like Ruin Runner. Yeah, you can give it to like Ruin Runner. Like, oh god. +2/+2 and double attack. All right, Rainbow Fish. Rainbow Fish is a 4 mana 2/1 elusive attach. So this one's actually really, really expensive just to give it elusive, right? Like, yeah, this one, they basically, they're very scared of elusive being good, and for good reason, because elusive is terrifying. So they made this one cost 4 mana, right? Like, when you compare this to the quick attack one, it costs 2 more mana for just 1 more attack and the elusive keyword instead. Same as like Fae Guide. Yeah, exactly. When you compare this to Fae Guide is a good comparison because it's 4 unit mana, right? So basically, unlike Fae Guide down here, you're actually buffing your elusive card instead of just playing a 3/4 body. Your elusive card is getting +2 attack and +1 health. Oh god. Honestly, I mean, like, even that's not bad. Given ally spell shield this round is best pals. Wow. So basically, it's like a really bad Bastion. It's just spell shield this round, and it doesn't give a buff. Oh, it's a token. Yeah, you're right. Best pals is a token. We're getting it from something else here. All right, yeah. Best pals and best buddies are the two: the spell shield and barrier. Friendship. Okay, interesting. So friendship is a 4 mana burst spell in Bandle. Friendship. That just gives an ally either barrier or spell shield this round, depending on your choice. Huh. That's not bad. The flexibility of this card is actually really, really powerful, right? Like, the fact that... So, Bastion is an awkward card in some cases. It's hard to just run a lot of Bastions, because if you have Bastion in your hand and the opponent doesn't play a spell, it's just kind of sitting there, right? The fact that this has the flexibility to go into barrier is so nuts in comparison. I think this might be better than Bastion or Riposte. Like, the fact that it can do both is nuts. Is insane, actually. Yeah, Friendship is really, really, really good. Wow. Oh, God, that's so scary. All right, next up, Scholarly Climber. This is a Yordle, 4 mana, 5/4 spell shield. And this one is Bandle Targon. So you can just slap this in either. Huh. I mean, it's got an alright stat line. It's good for some buff effects, like a Sivir card. Yeah, I mean, this would be good in like some kind of like Sivir style deck if you could afford to run Bandle and Sivir. People have messed around with Bandle Sivir. It's big. This is honestly not bad. Could be like a Zoe card. You probably wouldn't use this in Zoe. But honestly, if Fiora Bandle ends up being a thing, I'll actually love it so much. I mean, I might be the only one, but if we can use Quick Quill for quick attack on Fiora, that will be truly, truly disgusting. All right. So then we've got Assistant Librarian, which we did first. Then Prowling Projectile. Deal 1 to a unit at 2 mana fast. Grants an ally +1/+0. Oh, man. All right. Oh, that one's really, really interesting. I mean, would that ever just be... The only reason to use that over a Pokestick is basically just Fated, pretty much. Like, the +1 grant isn't really doing a ton, except for Fated, right? But honestly, I mean, it's still a valuable card, right? Like, 2 mana for a 1 ping and something else could actually see play in a deck that's trying to abuse Fated. It's good for proccing Fated. Yeah, exactly. And +1 attack, like, as a grant, can actually do some cute things if you're using it on, like, a Fated Elusive or something like that. It can easily be, like, 2 Nexus damage. So, yeah, we'll see. That one's close to seeing play. All right, and then, of course, the card herself, Yuumi. Okay. Oh, God, Yuumi. Yuumi. So, Yuumi. So, every round, she grants the unit she's attached to +1/+1, right? She comes down to the board immediately as a 2/2, which means she'll buff whatever she puts on +2/+2 immediately on turn 3. And that means that every round start, she'll make the thing grow +1/+1 bigger as well, right? So if you play Yuumi on turn 3, on turn 4 she'll be a +3/+3. On turn 5 she'll be a +4/+4. And then if the unit she's attached to has attacked 3 times, she levels up. At that point, she grants the unit spell shield every turn instead. And presumably when she levels up, the moment she levels up, she gets spell shield, right? And I think that means that the unit she's attached to gets spell shield. That's what it should mean. I think we saw that in the trailer, right? So when they do the third attack, they instantly Yuumi levels and they instantly get spell shield, right? That's the idea. Oh, God. And then if they pop the spell shield, then there's going to be a new spell shield and next turn at the start, right? All right. That's pretty disgusting. Oh, God. All right. So, yeah, Yuumi's going to be pretty good. She has a really, really interesting design, though, because she wants to come out as soon as possible, usually buffing a unit that you want to be able to carry away the game with you, but she needs to come out on turn 3 or maybe 4 to maximize her value. So you want to combine her with a 2 mana unit or maybe a 3 mana unit, but often the 2 mana unit that's going to like kind of carry the game away and just like win the game with a bunch of scaling buffs, right? So like what would come to mind is something like Sparklefly, right? Now Sparklefly of course isn't 2 mana anymore. God, imagine a universe where Sparklefly was just 2 mana and you just Yuumi it on turn 3. Oh god. But even new Sparklefly, even 3 mana Sparklefly, that sounds really good for an attach deck, right? Like, unironically, this idea of attach will actually make me try Sparklefly Bandle City, right? Like, being able to Sparklefly and buff it up with Yuumi or some of these other attaches will still be ridiculous, right? You really want buff targets, like something like Fiora would work well with the quick attack, but you want something that's going to work well with just +2/+2, right? Or plus stats. So what else would be good? Akshan would be pretty nice. It's just like an early quick attack body on turn 2 that gets buffed. You guys are saying, I'm seeing like Elise, I'm seeing Lucian is potentially a body to buff. White Flame is going to be pretty good. You're definitely going to need to be able to, you know, give it Overwhelm, but you've got Zenith Blade for that. White Flame is actually not bad. White Flame's actually not bad. There's a lot of things we can buff. Zed is a really scary buff target. Zed is kind of like the perfect card to get just like plus stats and be able to run the game away with it. That would be turn 4 instead of turn 3, but perfectly acceptable because you're having a Zed that's just it would be a 5/4 Zed on turn 3 that's growing +1/+1 each round. Or sorry, on turn 4 I meant. Yeah, no, pretty gross, pretty disgusting. Oh god. All right, honestly this is pretty interesting, and the thing about attach is that even when the units are moved, you just get the attached card back, right? When I'm attached, when the ally leaves play, recall me, right? So even like when the ally dies, even when the ally gets removed by anything, it always just recalls to the hand, no matter what, apart from a literal silence. Seriously? Is actually wait. Attaches. If the ally ever leaves play, if for whatever reason, if the ally leaves play, whether it gets killed or detained or anything, or even obliterated, unless it gets mini morphed or silenced, the attached card will just recall. So all of these attached cards are just unkillable? What? Excuse me? All right. Okay. Okay. Oh god. Oh no, it's happening. Just like complete. Dude. Lantern is great with these. Yeah, I mean the Fey Lantern is gonna be really good with these. All right, that's so good. What? Mini morph meta again. Yeah, this is why the devs refused to nerf mini morph. This is why they couldn't nerf mini morph, because they were gonna print this, and now we have to run mini morph to counter it. What the hell? Wait. Oh god, dude, these attached cards are so ridiculous. All right, I mean we'll see. You know, obviously grain of salt. People have freaked out over things in reveal times before, including myself, of course, and sometimes it ends up being unwarranted. You know, hopefully attach won't be as good as it's looking, but it's looking pretty good. It's looking it's looking pretty good. That being said, I don't think we've seen all the attached cards yet, so we'll have to see. But basically, just in terms of kind of like looking over the cards that we've got today, kind of like a quick rundown. Honestly, Pantheon with these bundle cards is actually looking pretty legitimate. I don't know if it'll be able to be better than Pantheon Demacia, because you are going to need to run some way to win the game, right? Demacia is really important here because it gives really good interactivity with Pantheon decks with single combat and concerted strike, and it gives rallies to close the game. You know, you've got just top tier buffs like Sharp Sight, so it will be pretty hard to escape Demacia, but these bundle cards that we're seeing are really sweet. Best pals, best buddy, Friendship in particular is great. This card is really low key. The flexibility of barrier or spell shield is insane. This is like really powerful flexibility, because the thing that balances out cards that give spell shield at burst speed, right, is the fact that they are kind of committal, right? I believe, unless I'm mistaken, you've never been able to select out spell shields from like a manifest at burst speed before. Like you have stuff like invokes, you can get like Moonglow, but that's not a burst speed spell shield. It's not like a stack counter spell shield. This is the first time ever that we've had an optional spell shield, something, it doesn't have to be spell shield, but it can be spell shield, that's burst outable, right? And that means that, you know, you're never really gonna mind that it's this round. So friendship is super powerful, right? As far as like the actual attached cards themselves go, I mean, they're pretty interesting. I really am looking forward to trying Quick Quill on Fiora. These cards, they're either going to be very broken or very weak. They're probably not going to have much of a middle ground. Like either there will be a deck to be able to try to attach things to, something that abuses something specific like Fiora, like Zed, like Sparklefly, you know, just like a buff target that's going to be trying to win you the game on its own. Or, you know, they're not really going to be able to hit those decks. Now, whether these cards will be ran in like a Pantheon style bundle deck, I think some of them might be, but definitely not all of them, right? Like a lot of them are just going to be too expensive for a deck like that. I don't think Pantheon decks are really going to want to be giving keywords like elusive, and even like the double attack is pretty cute, but probably a little too expensive to make sense in a competitive Pantheon deck. We'll see. Fizz, yeah, giving Fizz keywords could be really good, and Fizz is Bandle already, right? So you don't even have to be in a second region already. Yeah. Oh god, Fizz could be really nasty with some of these, dude. Papercraft Dragon on Fizz. Wait a second. Just give Fizz double attack. See that? That's not bad. That's not bad. Honestly, okay. Some of these cards might be toxic, but these are like my favorite kind of toxic, all right? And that's because I'm a degenerate, right? Like, I like degenerate combo tempo decks. You guys know me, you know, I'm like, I love me some Zed combo. I love me some early aggressive blowout combo on stacking buffs. This is like what I live for. Like all of my favorite decks in Runeterra. Like look at, you know, the standalone Zed deck. Like Battle Fury Fizz back in the day was a horrible deck, but I enjoyed it a lot. You know, the Rumble memes that I've done. Like, this is basically my kind of shit. So at the end of the day, you know, I personally am at least gonna have some fun with this one. I hope that everyone else is gonna be able to as well. But as far as, you know, breaking down the rest of these cards go, I think for the most part, yeah, like all of my breakdowns remain. Like Yuumi looks pretty solid. She's obviously kind of like one of the big things about like an all-in buff deck. If you're running this kind of like a gimmicky cheese deck of just like, I'm gonna have a buff target that will win me the game if unchecked, then Yuumi's gonna be really good in a deck like that, right? You'll want to use her on a 2 or 3 mana unit for sure, right? Pretty much anything more expensive than that doesn't really make sense for Yuumi. I mean, you could use her on a 1 mana, you could use her on like Fizz, right? That's a 1 mana, that's probably like the only 1 mana unit that's worth using Yuumi on. But yeah, no, anything that's cheaper than 4 mana. Prowling Projectile is all right. You know, I don't know if it'll replace Pokestick, but if we're in Faded, there's a chance, and it will be good in these kinds of like buff decks. You know, I mean, like imagine if we're doing like Zed buffs, right? Sure, I'll give my Zed permanent +1 attack on my ping. Why the heck not, right? So Prowling Projectile will make sense in these kind of like Yuumi decks, right? Yuumi's all or nothing. And then the last card that's like really good and kind of like worth mentioning here is Assistant Librarian. Mentioned this at the start. This card is really good. Auto include in Fade decks that are trying to like abuse the Fade keyword. It's really good in like these Faded style Pantheon decks. You're probably not going to use it in like a full Yuumi deck. And this is kind of like the big thing that when I'm looking at these cards and I'm thinking in my head about the predictions of these cards, I do think my final note is that there's probably like 3 different decks here, right? There's an all-in Fae deck that's going to be using some of the cards that we got yesterday. Those are going to be using like a Gleaming Lantern, Grandfather Fae, Blast Cone Seedling. They're going to be using some of the today cards. They're going to have to run more Fae keywords, right? So they'll use Assistant Librarian. Maybe they'll run Yuumi. Honestly, not even 100% sure about that. And you'll use probably like Mushroom Ring. And they'll just focus on a lot of Fae buffs and Fae discounts, maybe trying to win the game with something like a Yordle's Arms, right? The second deck is that you could just build Pantheon with Bandle, so it would just be Bandle, Targon, Pantheon, and that would be a faded deck, right? And you would definitely run Assistant Librarian in a faded deck. It's just a really good buff target if you're looking for more fadeds to pick up. If it basically the opponent has to block it every turn, and that'll be really, really good if combined with, for example, something like Quill, right? You would want to use it with something that's making sure that it's getting effective value when it gets blocked, because they have to block this, which is really nice. That's kind of what you're paying for with Assistant Librarian, right? And then the third deck is this like all-in cheese combo, right? Where you're just taking a unit like Zed or like Sparklefly and kind of like buffing it up. And Assistant Librarian probably won't make sense in a deck like that, I'm thinking. It honestly might, depending on how it works out, because it's still, you know, something that they have to block, and maybe you could like buff it with Rainbow Fish to make it a little spooky. It's a good faded, so it'll be good when your hands like don't work out perfectly. But I could see this card not making sense in that deck, and I think that's kind of like the most important thing here, to see that there's at least 3 different decks going on, right? And I guess even like you could call a Fiora deck a 4th deck, because that wouldn't play maybe Yuumi, but it would definitely play Quill at the very least, right? Like there's a bunch of different ways we can play with these cards, and we have to be building them in different ways in our head. But yeah, no, that's basically it. Honestly, I'm gonna have some fun with this one personally. I hope that it's not too toxic, but honestly, it's looking right up my alley. This is my kind of degeneracy. All right. So as always, if you're watching on YouTube, I do update my initial impressions in the pinned comment, because of course these are just my first impressions of these cards. And tomorrow we're going to be getting more reveals, probably the Gnar support cards. So stay tuned for that. That'll be the end of the YouTube video. I did it.